Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and now I am currently in Baku. I am traveling solo here, and I think it's time for me to address uh, the things that I've been through in Algeria when I went there as a tourist. Okay, because I was on YouTube and I was arguing with this guy with a username chmod something, and he's an Algerian guy, and he's trying to say that I am lying for what I've been through in Algeria, which is a classic patriarchal way of thinking of a lot of Algerian men. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying a lot, okay? So I lived in a Muslim country for 5 years, and I know I know how to dress during Ramadan because I know how to respect Ramadan. Okay. So when I was in Algeria, the clothes I brought are all long sleeves, pants, coats, sweaters, jackets. The moment I arrived in Algeria, okay, I was already hustled by young men in the airport. Not even 2 minutes that I arrived in the arrival hall, okay? They were trying to cheat me on the conversion rate, and he tried to steal 1,000 dinars from me. And I came from the Philippines, man. I know scammers, and he thought that I wouldn't notice it, which I did immediately. And I said, "Give me back my 1,000," because he's supposed to give me 15,000, and he only gave me 14,000. I said, "Give me back my another 1,000," and he was like, "No, no, 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 no. You will take a taxi with me." I said, "I told you already. I have a ride, you know." And I don't expect to experience this. Just not even an hour landing in Algeria, and it was Ramadan. It was broad daylight. I don't expect to experience this because I lived in a Muslim country for 5 years, and the month that I feel the safest for a woman is every time during Ramadan because men are scared to break their fast by sinning. So they don't look at you, they don't speak to you, they don't look at you in the eyes. And experiencing this during Ramadan, I felt awful. After that, my Airbnb host came to pick me up, and I was very thankful for them. They run a family guest house in El Biar or El Biada, I think in El Biar. And they are really, really kind people. The staff there are really good. The moment I arrived, they served me food, even it was Ramadan and they're fasting. They're very hospitable. The woman there, the old woman, I love her so much. She always cooks for me food. She would knock on my door and say it's time for breakfast, and I know she's fasting during that time. She would ask me what to cook for lunch, and then they would knock on my door again for dinner. They are really, really amazing. I stayed there for 4 nights, and I also missed the flight going to Tlemcen, and the flights would only be the next day to Oran. And I called again the owner of the guest house, and he said, "Don't worry, someone will pick you up there." And I am very, very much thankful for the people who run that guest house. They are really, really amazing. Okay, but on the second day that I was in Algeria, I went to meet up with my friend, who's I don't know if she's very famous in Algeria. Okay, she's Milord, and she's my friend. And that time I went to meet her up to tour me around in Algiers. And that time it was Friday, and there were protests. That's why we intended to go out later in the afternoon because the manifestations already died down. And we were walking there through the in front of the beach, by like the beside the road there, in front of the post office, and there were also a lot of policemen there, and there were people, and then there was this guy who was approaching us, and I was filming it, and then he just touched his crotch and said something, and I don't know what he said because obviously I don't speak the language. And my friend who was with me, Milord, told me, he said, "Wow." I said, "What did he say?" He said, like, "Suck my dick," something like that. And I was shocked because obviously it's Ramadan, and it hasn't even, the sun hasn't set yet. And this was like completely different experience for me, you know. And even she even said that we were walking right, and we were walking right past policemen, and the policeman said something, and I also didn't know what they were saying. And then she said, "Wow, this is the only country in the world where policemen would even catcall you." And one time we were crossing the street, the pedestrian lane, and I was carrying my vlogging equipment with me like that, and I heard my friend just having this argument with one of the young guys in a motorcycle, and then they were just spewing words to each other. And then I said, "What happened? What did he say?" He said that, "Why are we walking around on the streets during broad daylight? Like, we should just stay inside the house, be in the kitchen and cook." All of this I experienced in one day, by the way. So yeah. And then after that, okay, I went to Tlemcen. I went to my family friend, okay, and then at first I stayed in a hotel in Tlemcen, and I stayed in a hotel in Tlemcen, and I stayed there for 6 nights, and then on like my 3rd or 4th day I was having breakfast, and the breakfast that they have there I think is only for me, because I think I was the only guest that they have who's a non-Muslim. So I always have breakfast there alone, and it's like my 4th day already. So okay, when I went down at first, it was a different receptionist, because you have to go through the before you go to the mess hall, you have to go through like the reception first, then you go to a room where they have the breakfast buffet. And then I first saw a young guy. Okay, so while I was having breakfast, then a different guy came. He was older, okay, and then he went to speak to me, and then I said, "I don't speak Arabic or French." I said, "I only speak English." But he was still speaking to me, and then I said, "I don't understand." And then he turned on the TV, and at first I was sitting here on like a 2-person table, and he was sitting all the way there by the corner. And then he turned on the TV, and then later on he went to sit in front of me, which is very awkward, because why would you sit in front of me when there's a big hall here, a lot of chairs and tables, why in front of me? And then he asked me, because I was trying not to be awkward, so I was all over my phone while he was there in front of me. I was scrolling like this, even though I'm actually not doing anything. And he was like, "Cinema, cinema," and he was pointing on my phone, and I thought he wants to watch a movie. Maybe he hasn't seen a smartphone like this before. So I put it on YouTube, and I gave it to him, and then he started scrolling, and then his facial reaction was like this. Then he gave it back to me, and he said something, "Sex." I said, "What?" He said, "Sex." He wants to watch sex videos on my phone. I said, "Haram, astaghfirullah." And then he answered to me, Inti Muslima?" I said, "No, I'm a Christian." And then I just stopped eating, and I said, "Kalas, I'm going now to my room." And then I left the room. I run quick the stairs. I run up the stairs to my room, and then I double locked everything, and then I called my friend, and then I said, you have to come here because the old man in the reception just harassed me, asking me for sex videos on my phone. And then she came. She was really angry, and then after that she called the hotel owner saying that this happened, and the hotel owner said, am I sure that he said that? Maybe because I don't understand. I said, I asked twice. He said sex twice. Okay. And then he said, okay, he's coming now, and just stay put there. Then the owner came, and then he went to ask me to recognize the guy, and then I went down to the reception. I said, it is the same guy. Okay. And then he said, he asked the guy if he did what I said, and he said no, la la la. And then it was Ramadan. Okay, it was still Ramadan during that time. And then the owner said, say khasaman billah, putting your hands on top of the Quran, and do this and look at me in the eyes. At first he said kasaman billah, and he was not looking at me in the eyes, and the owner shouted at him saying, look at me in the eyes. And then he again said kasaman billah, and he looked at me for a brief second and looked somewhere else. And then that time my friend already smirked, like it's very obvious that he was lying. And then after that my friend got really angry, and then she threatened him that if he doesn't say the truth, he will call the police, the police in his family, and she will make sure that he will rot in hell. And he got really scared of that. Okay, he was not scared of the Quran, he was not scared of Allah, he was scared of going to jail. And he finally admitted, yes, I said it. And yeah, the owner of the hotel fired him. They asked me, what do I want to do? Do I want him to go to jail, go to the police? I said, I'm a tourist. I don't really want to go through all of this while I'm on a tourist visa. I said, you fired him, that's good. And then they were thankful to me for having said, having told them about this, because they said, we don't know how many guests has he done this, before, and it was Ramadan, and they were very ashamed that this happened to me. And they said I was an angel, because if not for me, then maybe he would have victimized some other women too, some of their guests. And after that, the both of the owners of the hotel just sincerely apologized to me, and then they upgraded me to a suite in their hotel. And even the wife personally came to me and was really apologizing for what happened. And then after that, there was still when we go to the carnival in Tlemcen, there were some guys, they know that I'm a tourist, and they were like, but then the mother of my friend would hold me hand in hand with her, so that they would stop catcalling me or saying something, because I'm with her. I'm with an older woman, and she's wearing hijab. They seem to respect you if you actually wear the veil. It's like if you're not wearing the veil, it's like you're open to everything. And if they see a tourist, they think that tourists are open for this kind of things, but actually, as a Western woman, no, I'm even more conservative than some of the Arabs that I know. So, I just want to talk about this because I haven't talked about it, and I'm just putting my experience out there. And yes, this happened, and no, I am not lying. I will attach a video of how I got harassed by this man on this video that I will upload now on YouTube. And I just hope that Algeria will be better for women, I seriously do. I seriously hope Algeria the best, and I not just politically or economically, but also the society. I hope they will be more open-minded, and I hope that women get equal rights. Okay, really equal rights. I hope women can get to marry whoever they want to marry. I hope women can marry even non-Muslims if they want to. I hope women are not, forced to be on an arranged marriage and marry who they love. And I just hope that women doesn't get catcalled that much. And I just hope for the best for Algeria. I have much love for Algeria. I went to Algeria for like a month, and I really well integrated into the culture. Especially I went there during Ramadan, and Algeria is very dear to me. Okay, I have family friends there, and I just hope the best for Algeria and for the Algerian women. And I hope this thing like put light on these issues that were like taboo in the Middle East and North Africa. So that's it, guys. Hope to see you soon.
One day,
My battery is dying.
D'accord, tout est là.
one day,
My battery is dying.
D'accord, tout est là.
one day,
My battery is dying.
D'accord, tout est là.